morning students. In this video we will discuss about tissue systems. So what is tissue system? A group of tissues. A group of tissues is called tissue systems based on location and structure. Based on location and structure, there are three tissue systems. What are the three tissue systems? Epidermal tissue system, epidermal tissue system, ground tissue system, and vascular tissue system. Based on location, based on their location and structure, there are three tissue systems. They are epidermal tissue system, ground tissue system, and vascular tissue system. The first tissue system is epidermal tissue system. So epidermal tissue system, usually this tissue system, it acts as covering layer of whole plant body, and this tissue system includes various tissues. So what are various tissues? Epidermis, stomata, and many epidermal appendages. And epidermal appendages are usually two types: root hairs and trichomes. Trichomes are also known as stem hairs. So these are the various tissues of epidermal tissue system. The first tissue of epidermal tissue system is epidermis. The first tissue is epidermis. Epidermis, it is outermost layer. It is the outermost layer of root, stem, and leaves. And epidermis is usually made up of compactly arranged. It is made up of compactly arranged parenchymatous cells. It is made up of compactly arranged parenchymatous cells. Elongated. Epidermis is made up of elongated, compactly arranged parenchymatous cells. And these parenchymatous cells have narrow cytoplasm. They have narrow cytoplasm and centrally located. They also contain centrally located vacuole. And intercellular spaces are usually absent. Intercellular spaces are usually absent. So because all the cells of epidermis, that is compactly arranged. When they are compactly arranged and spaces between cells are usually absent, it means intercellular absent in epidermis. So epidermis, it acts as protective layer of root, stem, and leaves. In roots, in case of dicot and monocot roots, the epidermis is also known as epiblema. The epidermis is also known as epiblema or rhizodermis, or it is also known as piliferous layer, due to presence of unicellular root hairs. In stems and leaves, the uppermost protective layer is known as epidermis. But in case of roots, the epidermis is also known as epiblema, rhizodermis, or piliferous layer due to presence of root hairs. And this epidermis, in case of monocot leaves, usually in leaves there are two epidermis, upper epidermis and lower epidermis. In monocot leaves, the upper epidermis has colorless cells, and these colorless cells are called bulliform cells, or bulliform cells are also called motor cells. And these bulliform cells and motor cells, these cells helps in rolling and unrolling of leaves. In case of monocot leaves, when you roll the leaf, and it can easily roll due to presence of these bulliform or motor cells. When you roll the dicot leaf, then it easily break due to absence of bulliform or motor cells. And in epidermis, usually in stems, in outside there is a layer, and this layer is usually known as cuticle. Cuticle present in a continuous layer, and this continuous layer is known as cuticle. And cuticle usually it reduce the rate of transpiration. Cuticle reduce the rate of transpiration. What is transpiration? It is the loss of water in the form of vapor. So this is the first tissue of epidermal tissue system. And in epidermal tissue system, the epidermis acts as protective layer. And second tissue is stomata. Stomata present in both dicots and monocots. So this is the stomata in dicot plants, and this is the stomata in monocots. These are the guard cells. And they are subsidiary cells, and this is stomatal pore, or it is also known as stomatal aperture. So what is stomata? It is a minute pore. Present on epidermis of leaves and young stems. And this stomata is usually absent in roots. Stomata present in only epidermis of leaves and epidermis of young stems. In mature stems and roots, the stomata is usually absent. What is stomata? It is a small pore. It is a minute pore, and this minute pore usually helps in exchange of gases. And it also regulate the rate of transpiration. When stomata open, the rate of transpiration increases. When stomata closes, and the rate of transpiration decreases. So stomata helps in exchange of gases, and it also regulates rate of transpiration. And this stomata has two specialized cells, and these two specialized cells are called guard cells. The guard cells are specialized cells because the guard cells possesses chloroplast. So due to presence of chloroplast, guard cells are also able to make their food through the process of photosynthesis. And these two guard cells, in dicots, the guard cells are bean or kidney shaped. In dicots, this is very important point. In dicots, the guard cells are bean or kidney shaped, whereas in monocots, the guard cells are dumbbell shaped. In dicots, the guard cells are bean or kidney shaped, while in monocots, these two guard cells are in dumbbell shape. And the outer layer of guard cell, this is one guard cell, and the outer layer of guard cell, it is thin, and inner layer of guard cell, it is thick. And this nature helps in opening and closing of stomata. Generally, stomata open during daytime and close during night time. That's why the rate of transpiration, so it is very high in case of daytime, and it is very less in case of night time. The outer layer of guard cell is thin, and inner layer of guard cell is thick, and this helps in opening and closing of stomata. And opening and closing of stomata is directly related to rate of transpiration. And the guard cells are surrounded by a specialized epidermal cells, and these specialized epidermal cells are called subsidiary cells. And in subsidiary cells, the chloroplasts are usually absent. And there is a small pore present between two guard cells, and this pore is known as stomatal aperture. Guard cells, subsidiary cells, and stomatal aperture, these three collectively known as stomatal apparatus. So stomatal apparatus usually helps in opening, it helps in exchange of gases and also regulates rate of transpiration. So what is stomata? It is a small or minute pore present on epidermis of leaves and young stems, usually absent in epidermis of mature stems and roots. And stomata has two specialized cells, guard cells. Guard cells are surrounded by subsidiary cells, and there is a small pore between two guard cells is known as stomatal aperture. Subsidiary cells, guard cells and stomatal aperture collectively known as stomatal aperture. In case of dicots, the guard cells are bean or kidney shaped, whereas in monocots, the guard cells are dumbbell shaped. And next, epidermal appendages. Epidermal appendages. The epidermal appendages are usually two types: root hairs and trichomes. So root hairs, so they are unicellular. For example, this is epidermis. The epidermis of root, some cells of root epidermal cells, they possesses long unicellular outgrowths, and these unicellular outgrowths are known as root hairs. They are unicellular. Entire root hair is unicellular. Unicellular outgrowths of some cells of root epidermis is known as root hairs. Root hairs usually root hairs absorb water and minerals from the soil, and cuticle usually absent in epidermis of roots. Cuticle present only in epidermis of stems. And another epidermal appendages is trichomes. Trichomes are also known as stem hairs. Trichomes are also known as stem hairs. And some cells of stem epidermis, they possesses unicellular or multicellular. Branched or unbranched outgrowths, and these branched or unbranched outgrowths are called trichomes. And sometimes trichomes, it may be secretory. They help in secretion of various chemicals. And trichomes are unicellular or multicellular, branched or unbranched, and sometimes they may be secretory. And these unicellular or multicellular outgrowths of stem epidermis is known as trichomes. And trichomes helps in, trichomes also reduce the rate of transpiration. So these are the various tissues of epidermal tissue system. Epidermal tissue system acts as protective layer of whole plant body. It has various tissues: epidermis, stomata, root hairs and trichomes. And second one is ground tissue system. Second tissue system is ground tissue system. A ground tissue system is also known as fundamental tissue system. It is also known as fundamental tissue system because this tissue system is present in the interior of the plant body. Except epidermis and xylem and phloem, and the whole interior of the plant body is covered by ground tissue system, and ground tissue system is also known as fundamental tissue system. And this fundamental tissue system is usually made up of a simple permanent tissues like parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Usually parenchyma present in cortex and pith region, and collenchyma present in hypodermal region, and sclerenchyma present in pericycle region. So ground tissue system is also known as fundamental tissue system because except epidermis and conducting tissues, the whole interior of the plant body is made up of ground tissue system. And usually ground tissue system is made up of simple permanent tissues like parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Parenchyma present in cortex and pith regions, collenchyma present in hypodermal regions, and sclerenchyma present in pericycle region. And last tissue system, the last tissue system is vascular tissue system. Vascular tissue system is also known as conducting tissue systems. Third tissue system is vascular tissue system. This tissue system is made up of, or it consists of two conducting tissues. They are xylem. They are xylem and phloem. Both xylem and phloem both are separately known as conducting tissues because they help in conduction of water, minerals and food material. When xylem and phloem together, they are called vascular bundles. When both xylem and phloem they are present together, then it is known as vascular bundles. And in vascular tissue system, usually vascular bundles are two types. Some vascular bundles are known as radial vascular bundles and some of them are called conjoint vascular bundles. So vascular tissue system contain two types of vascular bundles, radial and conjoint vascular bundles. In radial vascular bundles, for example, so this is xylem, this is phloem. Xylem, phloem. In radial vascular bundles, both xylem and phloem, they are alternately present on different radius. If both xylem bundles and phloem bundles present alternately on different radius, such vascular bundles are known as radial vascular bundles. And radial vascular bundles are the characteristic feature of roots, whether it is dicot or monocot. The arrangement of vascular bundles is radial. So in radial vascular bundles, both xylem bundles and phloem bundles, they are alternately present on different radius. Xylem bundles has one radius and phloem bundle has another radius, but they are alternately present. If they are alternately on different radius, then this type of vascular bundles are known as radial vascular bundles, and radial vascular bundles is the characteristic feature of roots, whether it is dicot or monocot. And second one is conjoint vascular bundles. Conjoint means if both xylem and phloem bundles present together. If both xylem and phloem vascular bundles present together, then vascular bundles are known as conjoint vascular bundles. Conjoint vascular bundles are again three types: conjoint collateral, conjoint bicollateral, conjoint concentric. So conjoint collateral. So conjoint collateral means if both xylem phloem present together. Then they are called, or both xylem phloem present on same radius. If xylem phloem present on same radius, then they are called conjoint collateral. Both xylem phloem present together, both are in same radius, then they are called conjoint collateral. And conjoint collateral vascular bundles are sometimes they may be open type and sometimes they may be closed type. For example, this is xylem and this is phloem. In between xylem and phloem, if cambium present, so what is cambium? It is a fully meristematic tissue. If cambium present between xylem and phloem, then these vascular bundles are called open vascular bundles. Conjoint collateral open vascular bundles means conjoint, both xylem phloem present together. Collateral, xylem phloem present on same radius, open, cambium present between xylem and phloem. So conjoint collateral open vascular bundles, they are the characteristic feature of dicots. And sometimes collateral vascular bundles are closed type. Closed type means if cambium absent between xylem and phloem, then these vascular bundles are known as closed vascular bundles. Conjoint, collateral, closed. Conjoint, both are together. Collateral, same radius. Closed, cambium absent. If cambium absent between xylem and phloem, then they are known as closed vascular bundles. And closed vascular bundles are the characteristic feature of monocots. Conjoint, collateral, open vascular bundles present in dicots. Conjoint, collateral, closed vascular bundles present in monocots. Open and closed. What is the main difference between open and closed? If cambium present between xylem and phloem, then it's said to be open. If cambium absent between xylem and phloem, then it's said to be closed. If bicollateral vascular bundles. if phloem present on both sides of xylem. If phloem present on both sides of xylem, then they are known as conjoined bicollateral vascular bundles. So here in bicollateral vascular bundles, cambium present on both sides. That's why they are always open type. So collateral vascular bundle sometimes open, sometimes closed. But bicollateral vascular bundles are always open type because cambium present on both sides of xylem. If phloem present on both sides of xylem, then they are called bicollateral vascular bundles. So bicollateral vascular bundles are always open type. And bicollateral vascular bundles are the characteristic feature of Cucurbitaceae family. Cucurbitaceae family. Next, concentric. So concentric means both xylem and phloem bundles, they are concentrically arranged one above the other. And they are again, concentric vascular bundles are again, they are again two types. Hydrocentric and leptocentric. Hydrocentric and leptocentric. Hydrocentric, hydro means xylem. It means xylem present center and xylem is surrounded by, this is xylem and this is phloem. Xylem, if xylem is surrounded by phloem, then it is known as hydrocentric. And usually hydrocentric type of vascular bundles present in aquatic angiosperms. Aquatic, they are present in aquatic angiosperms. Next, leptocentric. If phloem surrounded by xylem with same radius, if phloem surrounded by xylem with same center, then it is known as leptocentric. And this type of vascular bundles present in Eucha and Dracaena. Both Eucha and Dracaena are monocots, but in these two monocots, secondary growth is present. So these are the two different types of concentric vascular bundles. So in vascular tissue system, there are two types of vascular tissues, radial and conjoint. In radial, xylem and phloem bundles present on different radius. In conjoint, both are present together. There again three types: collateral, bicollateral and concentric. So these are the three different types of tissue systems.